Sevilya.
I'm Celeste.
And I'm Ashley, and today we are going to discuss food insecurity, how it affects the world, how people are working to become more aware, and how people are working to combat this issue. Food insecurity is the limited availability of nutritionally adequate and safe foods, or the uncertain ability to acquire these foods in socially acceptable ways.
People who suffer from food insecurity struggle to avoid hunger and face the risk of going hungry at any point in time.
First, we would like to address the problem with food access in Erie. A lot of the poverty in Pennsylvania is right here in our own city.
One problem Erie faces are food deserts. Food deserts occur when 30% of a population is not in close food access. There are currently 10 food deserts in Erie.
However, we are unfortunately expecting this number to rise in the very near future. There are numerous independent grocers who are in their late 60s who do not have anyone, such as children, to continue on their business, so they close their doors.
The lack of fresh food affects all of us. There are 167,000 hungry people in Erie County. This can lead to obesity, bad eating habits, and other health issues. When the only food is easily available to you is not quality or healthy, your health is at risk.
Poverty is a pandemic. The biggest factor of food insecurity is loss of jobs. School-aged children are amongst those in America most severely affected by hunger. Some children's only meals are at lunch during school. Numerous schools host breakfast and dinner programs for their students. However, when these children go home over the weekend, they're often going hungry.
To help defeat this issue, the Second Harvest Food Bank here in Erie began a backpack program. Through this program, the food bank packs backpacks of food for children to take home over the weekend who would not otherwise eat. Often, students come to school even if they are ill because they know their siblings or themselves may not eat that weekend without it. As you can see on the screen behind us, about 1 in 6 children suffer from food insecurity. This can lead to major health conditions such as headaches, iron deficiency, stomach aches, and upper respiratory issues. Food insecurity can also lead to other major deficits such as stress, depression, anxiety, and stunted child development. These young kids are growing and need healthy, nutritious foods in order to adequately grow into young adults.
Senior citizens are also unable to access food as well. Second Harvest Food Bank also provides low-income seniors with nutrition assistance to stretch their food budget. Food security among the vulnerable senior population is especially troublesome because many have special nutrition needs and may require certain diets for medical conditions.
Erie Council wants to look at zoning ordinances to reuse urban lots for farming. If they change the ordinances, this will make it easier for someone to buy a plot of land and begin growing food on it. At Second Harvest, they also have a truck that they drive into food deserts for families who cannot reach the food bank. This food truck is free and provides food to over 200 families.
These are just a few ways that we are working to combat this issue on a local level.
Next, we would like to discuss food insecurity on a global scale. About 795 million people are undernourished globally. This is about 1 in every 9 people in the world. Progress towards food security and nutrition targets requires that food is available, accessible, and sufficient quantity and quality to ensure good nutritional outcomes. Proper nutrition contributes to human development and helps people live up to their fullest potentials.
Now, Celeste would like to share some stories from the people who know.
In Wells, Vermont, Candace and her family are first-hand victims to food insecurity. With 7 mouths to feed and not enough money to go around, Candace and her husband often have to make very tough decisions. Her parents are at the point in their lives which they require 24-hour care, and Candace took on this responsibility. She explained how she's often had to choose between buying food and medicine. And sometimes her and her husband have to skip meals altogether just so her parents and children can eat. Living in Detroit, Michigan, Willie Smith struggles with similar issues. She lives miles away from the closest grocer. Being physically handicapped, it is hard for her to get around, but that's the least of her worries. She is a survivor of lymphoma as well as breast cancer and is struggling with diabetes. It's crucial she watches her diet. But with the devastating medical bills on top of housing and transportation expenses, there is little money left to buy a good meal. She explained her struggle at the market, standing in line and being worried she'll have to put something back due to a shortage of money. Plus, supplemental nutrition assistance benefits, known as SNAP, are steadily decreasing, making it harder for those in need to get sufficient food. Willie discussed her concern with this issue. She said, "Why would you want to cut food benefits when the need is so great?" And many others are wondering the same thing. So food insecurity is a serious issue that needs combated, yet the very benefits that were created to help people in need are being taken away from them.
So, we have discussed the vast population of various people suffering from food insecurity. How can we get involved, make a difference, and make a huge change? On a global level, a major thing we can do is bring awareness to the situation. Food insecurity needs to be known about, and people have to take initiative. Openness of international trade has an important potential for improving food insecurity and nutrition by increasing food availability. Social protection also contributes directly to the reduction of hunger and malnutrition by promoting income security and access to better nutrition, healthcare, and education. Also, on a campus scale, we can do a food drive and make donations to Second Harvest Food Bank. $1 donated to the Second Harvest Food Bank equals $17 of food. This is an unbelievable opportunity we have to make a difference. Also, students can contribute to our campus garden, in which we can donate to the local food bank. We can also reach out to other organizations to get involved, such as Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts.
Other ways students have been involved on campus by several clubs and organizations. We collected 1,368 pounds of food for Hunger and Homelessness Week, and also participate in Waste Not program, in which we collect leftover food from the dining hall and deliver to Erie City Mission.
So in conclusion, food insecurity is a huge problem which needs to be fixed. Even though there are so many simple ways people can get involved fighting this matter, there is not enough action being taken. The first step is to make people aware of how serious this issue really is. And from there we can truly come together to make a change. Thank you for your time, and we hope that you can stand up against this roaring pandemic with us.
Here are the sources we used to create this project, and here are the images that you will find in our presentation. Thank you.